All right, Cowboys fans, morning. Hey, on this Tuesday, sun shining type of morning. Feeling really good, really good. So, quick housekeeping note. Hate to kind of start the video off like this, but had a bunch of things planned, had a couple more videos planned for this weekend, and then I got some very sad news. My grandfather, and I'm going to show a picture in a second, my grandfather, the reason why I am a Cowboys fan, he transitioned on Saturday. So that was, tough for me. Kind of went under the radar. I've been being very consistent, pushing out content, whether it's here or quick stuff or stuff at the house, and just trying to like get us ready for obviously mini camp and rookie camp and training camp battles. And this topic is definitely one of those. But when you get some news like that, it kind of takes you back. Now, the good thing is he lived a fruitful life. He was a Cowboys fan. He was a man of God. So I pretty much can sleep at night now knowing that he's good. He's good, and that's that's the circle of life. It is what it is, and that's what God will have. So in that, I'm gonna be flying to Texas on Wednesday, Beaumont, Texas. And yeah, just one of those things. Now, so you guys send me some prayers, man. Send me some well wishes. I appreciate you guys, and being able to do these videos helps. Also, guys, keep continuing to support my new visual creep. I'll put the link in the bio. Now, let's get to this topic. All right. So, Battle of the Connors. All right, and I got some notes right here. I probably shouldn't be reading my notes at the stoplight, but I'm going to anyway. So, when the Cowboys drafted Connor Williams 90th overall, there were a couple of things going through my head. Well, first of all, I need to think and find out who this player really is. You saw the name mixed in with a couple other guys, Elgin Jenkins and a couple other players that, possibly could be slotted to the Cowboys as an offensive line prospect for this team. Now, what we have to realize is that our needs and the Cowboys' plan may not always align, but guess what? That's okay. If they have a plan, if they have a strategic idea of how they want to build, how they want to help this team, and how these pieces can instantly, this is an instantly make this team better, then that's what the Cowboys are going to do, and that's what the Cowboys did. So I got a couple points that I want to hit. All right, Lyle's future. I want to hit Connor Williams being out of position. All right, and the biggest thing that I want to hit is, are we out of the woods with Travis Frederick? That's a sneaky one. Okay, and then let's talk about also the Cowboys' new scheme and how with Paul Alexander, they were more of a catching team, but now with Colombo, they want to push and they want to drive, block, and they want to play with power. I think that's our offensive line coach. Whoever we made the switch to, I forget his name. I'm sorry, guys, whoever we made the switch to, I know that our new offensive line coach, he wants to play with power. And let's also, and then my last point is, we haven't been 2016. We've been 2017 was good, 2018 was okay, but we haven't had a line like 2016 since 2016. And we've been good. I think that their mindset was, we want to get back to being great. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Lyle Collins, and Lyle Collins being out of position. Well, he's out of position. I think that he should be a guard, but I think the Cowboys have said in the next year, we're going to move on, and this is one of the signs, so you have to follow the signs. Talking about Connor McGovern, a 21-year-old who, going into Penn State, he was a true freshman, started as a true freshman on a Big Ten offensive line, all right? So for those of you who aren't familiar with college football, Big Ten football is basically, that's where you get offensive linemen at. And whether it's Iowa, Wisconsin, Indiana, that's offensive line country. The fact that Connor McGovern, as an 18-year-old, started on a Big Ten line, Making holes for Saquon Barkley. I'm sure you guys have seen the clips, and I'm playing some as this video goes along. That really tells me all I need to know. Not to mention, he's only 21 right now, and his growth and his development can still, his ceiling is still so high. They had a second-round grade on this player. I went back and watched 4 games, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, and I watched a couple others. I was reading a bunch of stuff. I read a good piece on The Athletic. This kid is better than I thought. And that's not because he's a Cowboy. But his power, he has the ability to be just a complete grader in there. He does struggle with quickness, interior quickness, and that's normally after he's been punishing the defensive tackle. But he's not so bad that it's stuff that can't be corrected. And if I want him learning, I want him learning from who? Zach Martin, the best guard in football. So now that we know who the player is, we got to understand, La'el Collins, Connor Williams, the shuffle that, to me, is probably going to take place. When you think about La'el Collins, he's been good. He hasn't been the lineman that he was supposed to be out of LSU. And that's okay because he's been serviceable. But I don't think that there's any way that they're going to extend him or give him a new contract. And I'm pretty sure, quiet as kept, they were probably trying to move him around draft time and just didn't get the calls. And now let's talk about Connor Williams. So when it comes to Connor Williams, it's clear he was out of position. He was one of the picks that I was very excited about last year, was very unexcited about Leighton Vander Esch, and we see how that turned out. When it comes to Connor Williams, we know his downfall, and it's in your face. It's power. His feet are good. He can handle the quick stuff. Hand placement isn't bad. But when it just comes to being able to, you guys excuse my French, sit your ass down and anchor down, he just can't do it. Well, Connor McGovern can, and he can do it well. And I think that the Cowboys thinking and looking at this division, Jonathan Allen, Fletcher Cox, the great defensive tackles in this division, I think the Cowboys said, we'll take a chance on a guy like a Connor McGovern that we can clean up. We can clean up some of the short sets. Short setting is basically when you overextend and you basically get beat with quickness. We can clean that up. But I just have a golden rule, like, you can go lift weights, but some guys just you can't like Connor McGovern is just naturally an ox. He just is. Some of those old linemen, you could say they need to get stronger. The fact of the matter is, if you come in the league like Quentin Nelson, Colts guard, it didn't matter that he was, 22, 23 last year. He was built for tough already. You see what I'm saying? So he was already strong enough to handle NFL power. If you have to get strong enough to handle NFL power, that's normally not a good thing, and that's normally that's not a good sign. And when it comes to Connor Williams, I just don't think that in an off season he's gonna be able to put power into his game. Now, they may have a plan to move him out to tackle, and I think that would be an amazing plan because that's his game. He's a finesse player. He handles quickness well. He handles those DNs well. And I think that, he's a player that he will benefit from being on the outside, and he will also benefit from being next to Travis Frederick. Next to Zach Martin. Now, one of my last points is, when you think about Travis Frederick, we're not out the woods. And another thing that Connor McGovern can do is he can play center at a high level. He did it at Penn State for a long time, and he could play all 5 positions on that offensive line. But center and guard is where he excelled at. And again, I like Joe Looney, I like Xavier Su'a-Filo, kind of backup, kind of role player guys, but they maxed out. A guy like McGovern hasn't even begun to see his true potential And I just think that the Cowboys really banked on that. And this, I'm telling you, the battle of the Connors, it wouldn't surprise me if week 1 Connor McGovern was starting over Connor Williams. Just because the Cowboys kind of let you know they're going to give a chance to their young players to play. And watch this. With McGovern being a 3rd-round pick who had a 2nd-round tag, he's going to get ample opportunity to win that job. And what would that be? That would be the Cowboys correcting their mistake with Connor Williams. And it's not all the way a mistake. They just kind of know he's out of position. So, in all of that, the scheme, the power issues, Lyle just not being that great, the odd man out for this year could possibly be Connor Williams. You can never have enough good linemen, right? So the odd man out for this year could possibly be Connor Williams. And that's why I say the battle of the Connors, because I'm going to be honest, when it comes to what the Cowboys want to do and the type of physicality, like the Cowboys have, they have a mindset. They have an identity. Their identity is they want to play power football, and we'll see what wrinkles Kellen Moore can throw in there, right? But they want to play power football, and in that, you know, you need a powerful offensive line. And I just think that Connor Williams, he's a finesse player. Connor McGovern is he's an in-your-face, grimy, dirty, finish the block offensive lineman. And I think that when it comes to this battle, I think that even though it's early, if I had to make a projection, I think that McGovern will end up winning his job early. I mean, he's very reliable. He's never hurt, and he's just a man's man. And you hear that the offensive line loves him. Everybody in that offensive line is very tight, and everybody on that line loves him. So, Cowboys fans, what do you guys think? As always, I value your guys' feedback, so go ahead and jump in there. If you have some points that maybe I may have missed, go ahead and jump in there and give me your thoughts on McGovern possibly starting early on. All right, guys, it's your boy Foots the King. Peace. Remember, keep sending those prayers up, guys. Thank you.